For real now. Welcome to a 1v1 on Stalingrad. This game is going to be Teabag60 versus Momo4sho. Teabag60 playing as Oberkommando West in the south versus Momo playing as Soviets in the north. You're going to see fortifications, Spec Ops, and Luftwaffe against mechanized support, guard motor, and tank hunter. Pretty standard loadouts, I would say. Oberkommando West has been struggling this patch, but Luftwaffe seems popular for the people who do pick it, and I know I've said that multiple times, so I'm kind of expecting Luftwaffe. It'll be good to have Fallschirmjäger for medium range engagements, and MG34s can be a nice thing to have on this map, certainly. Volksgrenadiers take control of the factory initially here in the opening engagement. Ran them straight there. Didn't cap any territory on the way. He definitely wants building control, and for good reason. Meanwhile, Sternpire is grabbing everything on the left. And the SWS is hovering right here, so it looks like Tier 3. I think if we were going to go Tier 2, we might want to maybe throw it up somewhere around this factory. But he has not done so. Conscripts making their way towards the factory. Building or tenement, whatever this thing is, will secure control of the building. He didn't see them coming or hear them, I guess. But he loses building control right there to that squad, unfortunately. And he will decap the munitions, but honestly, it would have been much better if he could have maintained building control. And over here on the left side, Sternpios are getting wrecked. They didn't quite get in range on those conscripts quick enough. You can see a model died on the approach right there, so not doing very good damage even at close range. Very strong opening engagement from Momo here, forcing a retreat from the Sternpios that early in exchange for so little is always very good. It's gonna be 150 manpower down the drain just to get this squad reinforced. Roughly 120, I mean. So, Volksgrenadiers vault this wall, may actually get control of the building again. Momo a little slow on that reaction. Unfortunately, Volksgrenadiers do get back building control. We'll be able to start damaging the conscripts in this area, but fortunately they have managed to get all the points surrounding the factory under their control, so he doesn't have to stand there under Volksgrenadier fire any longer than he wants to. And squads are going to probably move to get that fuel under control. Momo is off to a kind of a slow fuel start here. This game hasn't managed to get that captured. I was also wrong. No Tier 3, Tier 2. Tier 2 going up in a very defensive location. Interesting choice. Nothing wrong with that by any means, but I don't know, I guess Tier 3 wouldn't really be that great on this map either. Flag half track might prove very difficult to preserve. Tier 2 is probably the right call. I'm wondering if Teabag is going to go with an extra squad of Sternpios. It could be nice to have that extra short range damage, and obviously he's going to need a little hard anti-infantry damage sources of some kind, because Momo is going with a 5 conscript opening before transitioning to any form of healing. He might even consider a second flamethrower as well. He has not teched Molotovs yet, so he's just going to be relying on his one flamethrower and massive conscript spam to win himself engagements, and should get the job done for now against a pretty light infantry force here from Teabag, who has 3 squads of Volksgrenadiers on the field, plus Sternpios. Schumann just went down. I think Momo might have spotted that. He almost certainly spotted that. That's bad. In fact, he's going to plant a mine of his own. I guess Momo did not spot that. Ooh, that was a good one. Did not spot it. Squad very nearly got wiped right there. That could have been terrible. Looks like they'll get to safety. Narrowly. Guess I was wrong. I guess this thing blocks vision. Kind of hard to see stuff like that in when I have the fog of war turned off. Oh well.
This now belongs to the people and workers of the Soviet Union. Squad replenished.
Green cover position built here by these Volksgrenadiers. Second squad jumping into the building. Stern Pioneers trying to deny this point to that squad of conscripts. Jumping into the green cover right there. Teabag doesn't have very much territory right now. He probably doesn't have enough to survive on. 2 strategic points and 2 high resource points in a VP is probably not good enough. He's probably going to need to at least get a few more strategic points under his control, or he's going to get overwhelmed. Momo has chosen tank hunters. He's also got a minesweeper out now. He's like, huh, I didn't like that shoe mine. I think I'm gonna get a minesweeper. That shoe mine rather hurt. I think I'll buy a minesweeper. Mine going down right here will get interrupted by Volksgrenadiers spotting it going down. They do need to pull away from the flamethrower right there. Conscripts harassing the south. Take control of the strategic point. Might see an engagement between them and this Volksgrenadier squad, which could be a very close engagement since they're already wounded, but they'll probably catch them at close range.
conscript squads may now throw volleys of anti-tank grenades. Light anti-tank mines are ready to be placed at key locations.
We are in the shit now! Covering fire! Covering fire!
Infantry support gun on the field. Stern Pioneers will prevent any infantry from charging against them. Obviously, that flamethrower squad stood no chance from that. Engagement got gunned down very quickly. Folks Grenadiers moving up on the flank here of those. Whoa, that sneaky flank! Oh my God, is Momo gonna steal this? Probably not. He noticed. He's pulling that to safety. It's going down like kind of quickly. He's actually gonna bleed a little, not that much manpower. It's only 23 to reinforce, but he has to out-reinforce the conscripts trying to bring it down. Stern Pioneers move to save the day, and conscripts will be forced to retreat. But because they were forced to come save that infantry support gun, it opened up this sandbag position to these conscripts, which advanced from the front, and will start putting pressure on the unit needs in this area. They have tech Molotovs, and there's green cover here for them, but with an infantry support gun on the field, they may get flushed out of their cover by a miracle shot. Careful. Focus firing those stern piles down hard. They just dropped a lot of models. 3 models dropped for the retreat. Hard retreat all the way back to the HQ, by the way. No retreat point unlocked yet. So that retreat is pretty expensive.
Aim fire on this position!
Excuse me.
Builders, not killers! Why are they shooting at us? Okay.
Conscripts take control of the structure right here. Folks Grenadiers taking back control of the munitions. By the way, fresh squad of Folks Grenadiers went hard right to take control of this fuel point. It won't be connected, but it'll slow down Soviet Tier 3, I guess. These tank hunter tactics. He doesn't know that. No PTRS is upgraded yet, but he is up to 3 CPs, and I think he just purchased some. There's one.
Your orders, comrade.
There's one. He purchased one. He's been spending a decent amount of munitions on Molotovs. Demo charge mines.
Enemy squad has
Those PTRSs are going to be a little slow, but he'll get them out eventually.
Your predecessor died a hero! They are killing us!
Flamethrower looks like it might win this engagement. Folks Grenadiers will retreat first, and they'll move to get control of the fuel point back, although if T-Bag were, he has gone Luftwaffe, if he were to deploy Fallschirmjäger out of this building and get in their retreat path, there's a pretty good chance of a wipe. Against Oberkommando West, you never know if Sturmpios or Fallschirmjäger might show up on a stranded squad like that, so generally I wouldn't recommend sticking around trying to get a point captured unless you're pretty confident that nothing's going to show up. Which in this instance nothing will, so that's fine, but pretty risky right there. Demo charge almost wipes that Folks Grenadier squad. 1 squad member remaining. Conscripts are going to try and gun them down on retreat. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to finish the job though. There's the Fallschirmjäger. Instead of being deployed left, or deployed right, they're deployed left. Popping out of this building will force a retreat from pretty much everything over here to try and get a little bit of territory back under control. Conscripts engaging against everything over here.
The sector is at risk.
Seem to be doing okay. Momo boxing T-Bag in pretty hard. Again, I don't think that this tiny amount of territory is enough to win on. Commando West is about survival, but you have to survive on more than like 2 or 3 strategic points. You need a little more than that. Infantry support gun will suppress 2 squads with 1 shot, so that's good, but he doesn't have a way to keep them suppressed, unfortunately. Yeah, Sturmpio is available. If he had jumped into short range with those Sturmpios while those 2 squads were suppressed, he might have been able to win that engagement. But he'd rather just stand them in green cover, I guess. Up to 12 kills. Doing pretty well on this map, which is why, I kind of think maybe he should have gotten a 2nd squad rather than infantry support gun. Now that he has access to Fallschirmjäger, he'll probably be making those rather than Sturmpios from this point forward.
We have secured.
Be brave, comrades! We are taking losses!
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Infantry support gun shot on those conscripts will force everything to retreat. Folks Grenadiers taking control of the left side VP right there. Fallschirmjäger off to
Ready as we can be!
not that promising start, honestly. Only 2 kills so far. They're going to have to step it up a little bit. But at the very least, Momo has been forced to fully retreat. Everything back into the base. Tier 3 is in production right now, plus it's got healing and Molotovs. So, once everything is fully reinforced, upgunned, makes its way back to the front line. Bag may struggle a little bit in the next engagement. His arm is looking pretty small, honestly. And he does have a bit of an eggs in one basket situation with his Fallschirmjäger and Sturmpyos. He needs to use them very effectively. Momo should probably not camp buildings though, honestly. The infantry support gun is a pretty real threat. Pretty real threat to the squads. I mean, they're not really doing anything, and they're just sitting stationary in there. If they fall too low to a really good infantry support gun shot, decent chance of a wipe by Sturmpyos or Fallschirmjäger on the flank. So something to think about. Kind of sitting in that building, not really accomplishing anything like that. That could be a wipe right there. Fortunately, the Sturmpyos were between bursts, and they did not move to chase, and they were a little bit out of position. So, had that engagement gone just a little worse, that could have been a wipe, though. Stern Pioneers working on this conscript squad at short range, and PTRS shots even at short range are missing, unfortunately. Conscripts have to retreat through their own Molotov, but they get through without any crits, and Sturmpyos are doing excellent over here, forcing 2 retreats, taking only 1 model loss in return. Fallschirmjäger firing on conscripts in the munitions point will get forced away by the Fallschirmjäger in the building, and a tier 4 structure will protect this area as well. I don't know if I think that's very good placement, though. That's quite dangerous. An AT gun could set up quite safely over there, or up here, and fire on that from range. It's going to be potentially difficult for T-Bag to protect that, but he probably also feels that he needs to build his tier 4 in an aggressive location just to be able to hold territory. So hopefully that decision won't come back to haunt him. T-34 is on its way to try and punish that. And Momo is reinforcing and healing here in the base, getting ready for his next big push. He still holds pretty much everything here in the south. And it looks like he'll win this engagement against these Volksgrenadiers, maybe. Might need to throw a Molotov to turn this, and he's just gonna retreat. 2 squads heading south to take more territory down here. Volksgrenadiers grabbing the strategic point. We'll have to skirt away from the flamethrower inside that building, though. Rather than counter harassment attempts for the south, the T-34 looks like it's going to go pretty hard on the left / Oberkommando West forward defensive positions here. Waiting for support to arrive, though. If the T-34 can soak up the Tier 4 structure's fire, it'll go down very quickly to PTRS conscripts, so it will be important for T-Bag to do his absolute best to defend this thing against Momo's next push. Wouldn't Momo forget that was there? Maybe he didn't even spot it. I don't know. He knows it's there now. I thought the T-34 knew about that. Maybe he doesn't even realize that's there. I thought he saw it for sure. Conscripts jumping into the center VP.
The hard part will be keeping it.
Volksgrenadiers here in the south. Conscripts taking control of the east. Stern Pioneers will spot the T-34 right there. A bit of a late retreat. What are they waiting for? There they go. Fallschirmjäger trying to get in range to maybe do some engine damage right there. There is a Raketenwerfer on the field, currently positioned inside the building. If he can get engine damage with these Fallschirmjäger, he might be able to get that Raketenwerfer to get a couple shots off on that. But, ooh, wow, look at that range. That was sneaky. Came out of nowhere. Falls are gonna take this. Gonna have to retreat. Yeah, there they go. They were at about half health, and they got a couple snipes from PTRSs and had to pull back. And at this point, I'm almost kind of wondering what T-Bag's going to do from this point forward. He's up to 94 fuel. He's built a tier 4 structure. Probably, I guess, Panther, I think. Momo not doing a very good job of making a coordinated, combined push on this tier 4 structure right now. He can't keep walking infantry into range of the thing, or they'll be immediately forced to retreat. Volksgrenadiers seem to be doing okay here in the south. Forced retreat from that flamethrower squad, and we'll be able to continue harassing territory unopposed if the T-34 just keeps hanging out here in the north. Second T-34 will be on the field soon. 2 T-34s should be enough, especially with one T-34 should be enough with PTRS support to take out a Tier 4 structure. Honestly, I feel like all Momo has to do is drive the T-34 up to this thing with his 5 conscripts behind it and just blob it to death. I'm not really sure if there's anything that Teabag would be able to do to stop that. Of course, a miracle infantry support gun hit on a blob is always a threat, but other than that, there's not that much to defend. There's a mine right there, though.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
See what Momo decides to do. Reinforcing and healing here in the base. Combat engineers will repair that T-34.
T-34 ready for combat.
Two squads of PTRS is heading right to engage against the lone harassing Volksgrenadier squad. We'll be able to force that away. Fallschirmjäger and Sternpile is positioned in green cover on the center VP to try and punish any squad that might try and take this. Support gun just bombarding blind, I think, into the fog of war and hoping for the best, not really hitting anything yet. Volksgrenadiers are forced to retreat. A fresh squad of Fallschirmjäger is deployed out of the factory to try and prevent those conscripts from chasing. Volksgrenadiers will get away very narrowly. Storm Pioneers throwing down another mine, and here comes Momo's big assault on the Tier 4 structure, and I'm pretty sure it's just going to be destroyed, and there's probably nothing Teabag can do to stop it. There's the Miracle Infantry support gun hit, though. PTRS are still bringing it down rather quick. T-34 is also taking shots. Momo may be forced to trade a tank to destroy that. That's definitely dead. It has its engine destroyed, and Volksgrenadiers will finish the job. But it's probably a pretty good trade, honestly. Tier 4 will go down, and Frangible just got thrown to cover that T-34's retreat. Why would he have thrown that smoke? Retreat the minesweeper, though. Ooh, friendly fire. So yeah, pretty okay trade for Momo, I would say. I think he probably could have done that without losing a T-34 earlier. If he had done that as soon the instant his first T-34 hit the field, his opponent probably would have been a little bit less prepared. Either way, Tier 4 goes down. Momo wanted to field a little bit more firepower into that engagement. Meanwhile, the Fallschirmjäger in this factory are doing quite well. That conscript squad's going to have to retreat with only one man remaining. This squad probably shouldn't move up to engage against them at range with just yellow cover. They're losing that pretty badly. Extremely badly. There's the retreat. That squad is already up to 7 kills. 7 kills in Vet 1, giving them access to that Frangible in their very first engagement. And they have yet to make a retreat and yet to take 1 loss. So far, they're performing very efficiently. A lot of squads here on the battle group, healing and reinforcing, getting ready for the next Soviet push. And it looks like Teabag's territory is slowly expanding. But he's lost his Tier 4 structure, so although Momo had to sacrifice a little bit of map control and engagement power to take out that Tier 4, it is of course going to shut down any further tech by Teabag, and he'll no longer be able to nearly as effectively defend that munitions point. T-34 hits a mine down here, forces a retreat though from those Sturms. Fallschirmjäger lose building control. There are combat engineers here for repairs. That'll be repaired quite quickly, and the conscripts will have no problem winning an engagement against everything left down here in the south. Mortar on the field from Momo. Interesting choice. Maybe he wants to bombard this battle group from range. Starting to, ooh, that lucky stray T-34 shot. Detonates the shoe line right there. Flamethrower moves up to assist in this engagement, and I don't think that this Volksgrenadier blob can win an engagement against that T-34. Maybe. He's trying to push the Shrek model around as much as possible, and everything's going to have to retreat. Panzerfaust is not sufficient to bring that T-34 down either. Bundle grenade into the conscript blob forces 1 retreat. Another squad retreating right there, but the engagement will go to Momo here thanks to the flamethrower. Everything will have to retreat off the battlefield, and the T-34 is still pretty much fine. Another full health squad of conscripts moving to engage against half-health Fallschirmjäger. We'll probably lose if the Fallschirmjäger throw a Frangible, but they don't currently have the munitions, so they're going to have to retreat. Momo will get control of the east fuel. He's kind of struggling actually to get map control back. Maybe taking out that tier 4 was a little more expensive than I thought. Engagements are proving a little tough for him. New T-34 in production. I think he might want to consider T-70, maybe. Now that he doesn't need anything more beefy to tank Panzerschwer HQ fire, something that can take infantry out, especially Fallschirmjäger, bleed them a little harder, a little faster, something a little more mobile might be appealing. I could be wrong though. Massing T-34s for the theoretical eventual King Tiger. I mean, he's going to need like a lot of T-34s to take on an eventual King Tiger. It's probably best to try and prevent it entirely. Volksgrenadiers are forced to retreat right there.
We have a new T-34. Only 200 points remain. Double your efforts.
Minesweeper trying to clean up that mine, taking a lot of damage in the process though. Squad on the left side working on the VP. All 3 VPs in fact being worked on simultaneously. Double Fallschirmjäger heading left will easily win an engagement against those conscripts though. They're forced to retreat. Fresh T-34 on the field, moving its way across the left to engage against them. That's a pretty good shot off right there. Meanwhile, conscripts on the center VP also pushed away by this Volksgrenadier squad apparently. They were probably suppressed from an infantry support gun shot, otherwise I don't know why they would have retreated. Conscripts taking control of these strategic points here in the south, getting that under control, uncontested. Molotov on this blob.
We have lost the mortar crew. Kill them all!
And Teabag, by the way, has gone tier 3 and activated fuel transfer, so apparently his map control situation has been good enough that he feels comfortable going with a King Tiger. Pretty sure he's going for King Tiger. Obviously, he can't make any tier 4 unit. Oh, that late retreat! Oh, late retreat from Momo right there. Costs him that squad. I think his mortar died too. I don't know how his mortar died. I don't even know what he was doing with it this whole time. Apparently, he put it there and now it's dead. I guess these Fallschirmjäger killed it. I don't know if Momo really got a very good return on that investment. I haven't even seen it fire one round.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Might be regretting that a little bit. He is up to 2 T-34s here, and needs to try and find a way to make them useful. Probably just dive the battle group, honestly. Just like, oh, there is one Raketwork over here. Now that that's just been forced from the building, though, plus Molotov, T-34s are going to take that opportunity to just go hard down the left. Going in on this Bet 3 Fallschirmjäger squad initially. The Raketworker has repositioned to right there. Anti-tank bomb strike is going to get dropped on the battle group right here. And everything is just going to try and retreat off the battlefield, but that Raketworker gets cleared. Apparently they both got crew shocked by a stray bomb. But whatever, they don't take any serious damage, and they will be able to destroy the battle group easily. Pretty good chance of that Raketworker getting stolen as well. Teabag is definitely going to need that King Tiger to come out onto the battlefield and have a dramatic impact to turn this game around for him. He's got a big victory point lead though, so he's got lots of time. Fallschirmjäger lose that engagement rather spectacularly. He will be forced to retreat away from PTRS's, even in medium to short range engagement. T-34 is trying to finish off that Raketworker, will be successful. Weapons destroyed entirely. Wonderful, back to safety away from Fallschirmjäger plus Volksgrenadiers. This squad's extremely close range, throws Molotov before retreating, but they drop a PTRS, so that was probably not very worth it. Although those Fallschirmjäger probably shouldn't have walked straight through the flames. They probably shouldn't pick that up either. I don't know if a PTRS is better on average than an FG-42. Definitely much worse on the move. And you tend to want to utilize Fallschirmjäger on the move, so Not always, though. I don't know. That's probably not much of an upgrade, though. Probably not enough of an upgrade to be worth it.
Man down! Not one step back! This is our territory now! Okay, that's the last one! Position!
Conscript's working on some territory over here on the right side. Will probably be successful. I don't think those Folks Grenadiers can win this engagement, which means T-Bag has lost pretty much the entire map. Momo pushing him off of both fuel points. And it looks like he's probably going to be able to maintain. Welcome back. Technical difficulties. So there's probably like a jump in the video if you're on YouTube, which you might be. Or you might not be. You might be here right now on Twitch in real time. But if you're from the future, I apologize for the technical difficulties. King Tiger just got queued up. Meanwhile, over here on the left side, there's no salvage kit, I just noticed, by the way, from Momo. You kind of generally want to like get one of those at some point. Nice thing to have. You never know when you might have an opportunity to salvage something, especially maybe even one of your own tanks. So, yeah, just realized that. No salvage kit for Momo. T-34. Looks like it's going to go in on the infantry support gun. Maybe try and clear that again. Get the veterancy off of that. Not that the vet on an infantry support gun makes any real difference. Coaxial bringing it down pretty low. We'll have to disengage after a while. It's just doing a little damage to the tier 3. Maybe try and slow down the fuel transfer if you can get that destroyed. Can be helpful. Ooh, the Kenworth from that building might actually maybe go down. I don't know. It's pretty hard to... Wait, what just got wiped? What just got wiped? I heard something get wiped. But I don't know what it was. Something got wiped over here. Our Kenworfer does eventually leave the building because it's falling dangerously low. That T-34 at about half health. Looks like it will be fine. There's the King Tiger, finally. Rolling onto the battlefield. Hopefully it'll be able to turn things around. Momo currently has 5 PTRS squads and 3 T-34s which to fight against King Tiger, which is probably capable of taking it on, especially if you can get the munitions together for the bomb strike. Might want to consider maybe some stun mines. Throw a few of those down, sprinkle them around. They can be nice. They can be nice for helping you line up a good bomb run. Apparently Paul is really surprised.
The sector is at risk.
Construction is complete.
Sandbags going down right here.
Army at your service.
And getting control of that victory point.
The point is
The enemy has 300
Blob capping
points
this
remaining.
munitions. Wow, what if there was a demo charge right there? That could have been
Forces are capturing our
terrible.
supplies.
That could have been so bad.
under fire.
Squad gets suppressed right there.
We need the flag.
King Tiger, I'm pretty sure can squeeze through here because it can just, yeah, drive over those hedges. So this pathway is now opened up to all tanks, not just the KT. It's going to start working on these conscripts right here, which are just going to try and hide for now. No shots connecting yet. And all T-34s except this one have been repaired. This one's still waiting in the base for some combat engineers to show up.
The enemy has us ranged.
So far, King Tiger not getting aggressive. I think it's waiting for Minesweeper support, because obviously if it hits a mine, that's catastrophic. Definitely doesn't want any engine damage on that thing if it can be avoided. Keeping the Minesweeper nearby, pretty much concentrating all of his forces around the King Tiger, in fact, before advancing through the... somewhere. This area, I guess. Pulls up a sandbag ghost. Very slow and steady advance with the Minesweeper right there to make sure there's no demo charge or anything. Or mines. We'll sweep the center VP and start getting that capped.
Fresh
Playing
meat
very
has
passively.
arrived.
Very carefully. Fallschirmjäger making their way towards the southeast right now. And Momo has quite a few squads in his base, healing up the last T-34, and will be able to get out a 4th T-34 if he wants to. He's also got a 3rd Combat Engineer squad out, which he might throw on the salvage kit. Over the course of the next several engagements, there's a pretty good chance of T-34s blowing up, so he's probably going to want to try and salvage them if he can find an opportunity to do so.
Structure complete.
Bolshevik move to engage here in the south, simultaneous with an engagement for this strategic point. King Tiger gets a big hit. Squad will probably be forced to retreat right there. Bolshevik are losing this engagement though, thanks to some good early snipes. Should probably retreat. Unless they get a miracle infantry support gun shot. Molotov toss though, late reaction. No reaction maybe even. Just standing there. There's the first crit. Is he really going to lose that? I think so. He's not reacting in any way, shape, or form to this. Oh my god. That's terrible. And they die extremely slowly. There's the first T-34 going down on a huge charge for the King Tiger, by the way. Wow. Huge engagement. That one destroyed easily. That one also destroyed. King Tiger hasn't even taken a scratch yet. Oh my god, this engagement is going horribly, but an anti-tank bomb strike is coming in. He really needs this to land beautifully. It's coming in on those Volksgrenadiers too, and the King Tiger is floundering. Here it comes. Oh man, almost. It clears the infantry support gun. T-34 shot just bounced off the rear armor. The Volksgrenadier blob is still available. Here comes the fresh T-34. I think it's gonna go down. Ram! Oh! There it is. Right? No, it's abandoned. It's abandoned. Oh god. They're both abandoned. But the conscripts are on their way to save the day. I think they'll be able to destroy that King Tiger. Gonna finish it off with PTRS shots, maybe an AT grenade. King Tiger gets crewed. Oh, it destroys the T-34. And there it is. PTRS shots will finish it off. That anti-tank bomb strike was perfect. And that last 4th fresh T-34 was the absolute final thing. Momo needed to seal that engagement, ramming the King Tiger to death. Oh jeez, ramming the King Tiger to death at the very, very last second right there. That was on a razor's edge. I think Momo actually traded down in that engagement, though. He just spent 400 fuel worth of T-34s to take out 260 fuel worth of King Tiger. Of course, you have to take into account tech costs and the OKW fuel penalty and everything like that. So I guess I wouldn't. That was probably, with all those things accounted for, probably more like an even trade. And now both players are basically going to be engaging on their infantry armies. Fallschirmjäger over here on the right side. VP will be forced away by conscripts that jump inside the building. Fallschirmjäger on the left working on the fuel point. T-Bag doesn't really have enough map control for, I don't think, for him to have been able to afford what just happened. Obviously a T-34 is going to be hitting the field a lot sooner than any vehicle purchase that T-Bag might make, and he's going to struggle against all further allied tanks for a long time. He doesn't have any fuel coming in. He can't replace his King Tiger with anything, really. He does have a new battle group up in the base, and his Tier 3 never got destroyed, so he might be able to get out a Puma or something. Puma could be nice, maybe. Or a Jagdpanzer eventually, but it's going to take some time. And until something arrives, T-34 is going to be bullying him pretty hard, and the PTRS conscripts will continue to be a huge nuisance. Ooh. That was weird. Did you hear them all say we are taking losses simultaneously like they were like a hive mind or something? That was a little creepy, conscript squad. Okay.
It is finished.
3 model losses on those conscripts.
This now belongs
combat engineers with the flamethrower heading left to get all remaining territory captured. There's now a third Fallschirmjäger squad on the field, which is going to be highly punishable by Soviet Tier 3. I think you could probably throw out a T-70 or something. Punish this a little harder, but T-34s should be able to do it as well.
Good work, comrades. This now belongs to
The
us.
sector is at risk.
Fallschirmjäger, continue working the right side. No engagements happening anywhere on the map right now. This building is very dangerous to garrison, by the way. That's so close to getting destroyed. Maybe not as close as it looks, because it is extremely sturdy, but still pretty close.
Forces are neutralizing a
Still
sector.
pretty close.
This territory
T-34 moving right to push away that squad of Fallschirmjäger, and infantry support gun is just taking shots into the fog of war right now. Apparently it forced a retreat, though, from a flamethrower, so I guess that's something. Wow, Fallschirmjäger got wiped. God, I wish I could rewind. I really wish I could rewind. I hate missing stuff like that. I hate it!
enemy is reduced to 200 points.
I mean, how often does a T-34 just one-shot a Fallschirmjäger squad? That never happens.
Supply sector under attack.
Infantry support gun, bringing that squad in the building. Pretty low. T-34 right there.
We are taking losses.
Nice. Vet 5. Vet 5 on these Fallschirmjäger. That is dangerous. Hopefully no miracle T-34 shots are going to wipe that squad, because they're going to be a very important tool for dealing with these 5 conscripts with their PTRSs. Folks Grenadiers can only do so much. He's running out of time. Victory points are actually about to pull even, despite T-Bag having a huge early lead. Falling behind now. There's 2 T-34s on the field.
We need replacements.
And they're largely uncountered right now. Ooh, that was a nice hit. This Fallschirmjäger squad has to pull back a little bit. 2 Volksgrenadiers with their Shreks moving up. That T-34 just got his engine destroyed, though. Big hit on that squad brings it dangerously low. Another big infantry support gun hit just really nailed that conscript squad. Panzer Shreks will finish the job. Or no, Raketenwerfer. Another Raketenwerfer moving up into the engagement. There's engine damage on that T-34, and it's falling pretty low. Camo on the Raketenwerfer. He's going to move up and try and punish that. This one doesn't have a destroyed engine, just engine damage. It should be able to get to safety, I think. Raketenwerfer is going to get at least 1 shot off. If it gets 2, that T-34 might go down. He's trying to move up to try and maybe get 2 shots off. Here comes the first one, I think. Fired a little late. I think that T-34 might get destroyed. It stopped moving. I don't know why it stopped moving. If it kept going, it might have maybe had a chance to escape.
Enemy has destroyed
Both T-34s destroyed in that engagement just by 2 Shreks and a Raketenwerfer. That couldn't have gone worse for Momo. That's extremely bad. Fallschirmjäger with Vet 5 are making their way towards the center to try and push away these conscripts, and these miracle infantry support gun hits
attempting to capture our territory.
are really helping a lot at winning engagements and forcing retreats from these support. Is that going to get wiped? Momo, please. What are you doing? Oh my god.
Losing supplies to the enemy.
At Vet 5 in green cover, they can probably take on huge quantities of conscripts. They will get flushed from their cover by that Molotov, fortunately. PTRS snipes will... Oh god, don't lose that! Oh, that late retreat! No! The Vet 5 squad! Oh no! That is a tragedy.
We are taking losses.
We have more conscripts.
Should not have let that happen. Got sniped so quick by those PTRSs, he just wasn't ready. These 2 squads take control of the center VP and will try and keep the clock ticking against T-Bag here, who does have a fresh squad of falls on the field. He's spamming them pretty hard. I think he's lost 2 full squads of Fallschirmjäger this game. More than that, maybe 3. I don't remember. He's lost 3. 3 out of 5. That is a lot of Fallschirmjäger. That's so expensive. I don't think he's wiped that many conscripts in return. Not really. He's wiped a few stray random squads. He's killed 7 T-34s though, so that's a pretty decent amount of manpower right there. That's kind of a lot of manpower in T-34s.
Taking what we have secured.
Granted, it has been rather lethal on both sides.
One step back. This is our territory now.
Demo charge right there, that's kind of sneaky. Might be able to wipe something with that. I like how there's just random debris flying across the screen sometimes. Sometimes the physics is just like, it just goes crazy and sends an object flinging for no apparent reason. Fallschirmjäger retreating right there. 2 stern piles moving up the left. It looks like Teabag is struggling to get any territory really under his control. The clock is trending in his favor. Momo4sho keeps that clock ticking against him. Only 125 points currently remain for Teabag, and he doesn't seem to be able to get very like a firm hold grasp on any particular point. Fallschirmjäger in the southeast are about to get chased away by that T-34, and Volksgrenadiers in the middle had no chance of winning against that flamethrower squad. Just take manpower bleed and accomplish not much of anything else. There's another squad. That's 6 Fallschirmjäger squads fielded now, heading left to try and push away these conscripts. Stern piles with Vet 4 against this PTRS squad. Rakettenwerfer has to retreat. Late retreat on the conscripts. Late retreat and another wipe. That's the 3rd wipe on cons, I think. T-34 will successfully chase away the Fallschirmjäger here in the south. This Fallschirmjäger squad looks like it's going to lose its engagement against these conscripts because they're in open ground at medium range against 2 squads. And that infantry support gun shot wasn't quite on target, so there they go. Two squads on their way to take control of the southeast victory point. Here in the middle, Stern Pioneers have managed to get control of the VP and will also sweep a demo charge, which he should probably try to destroy. He could try and sweep it up, since Momo doesn't have vision, but that's kind of dangerous. Probably blow up that demo charge before he's forced to retreat over it. There you go. Oh, he can't retreat over it because of the sandbags. That's good. T-34 is going to attempt to gun them down on retreat, though. Another conscript squad is about to get wiped, though. Oh, God. Oh man, Teabag has wiped a lot of infantry that's just standing AFK in front of Fallschirmjäger. He's got so many lucky wipes that while Momo's not paying attention. Rakettenwerfer plus Panzerschreck. Oh, nice mine, though. Bring that T-34 low. Just trying to pull back to safety. Only 100. Is that going to get wiped too? I think that might get wiped too. Fallschirmjäger trying to run and gun them down, but they're about to blow up. Maybe. Why? Why? That was a free wipe for sure. Minesweeper does get away too, though, so that's good. Fallschirmjäger over here on the left side, taking control of this victory point, trying to slow things down. Doesn't look like anything's going to have any success there in the center. This Fallschirmjäger squad is going to lose. The PTRS conscripts, and they retreat quite late. But get a miracle escape? No, they don't. Get sniped. That might be game. I don't know if you can recover from all these losses. That's 4 now. Fallschirmjäger squads. Of 6 wiped. And a King Tiger. That's just too much. It doesn't look like he's going to make it to a second King Tiger, which I'm pretty sure he was trying to go for. He probably should have just gone Stuka or something. I don't know. Anything. He should have spent that fuel on something, because he's not going to make it to King Tiger. 59 victory points left, and Momo's PTRS conscripts are just performing too well. Performing too well against Fallschirmjäger. It doesn't really seem like there's anything Teabag can do against this. And he's about to explode. And there goes that squad. I feel like Momo could have made that demo charge maybe a little more juicy, but he decided to just go for the 3-man squad. Nothing wrong with that. Obviously that's worth it. Wiping Fallschirmjäger is always worth it. Well, I don't know how many kills it actually has, Ohio. Mikey. I mean, there's 9 on the kill counter, but it's been cleared like 3 times. It's It's probably got like 25.
Keep shooting! Taking effective fire!
Fallschirmjäger deployed out of this building on the left side, try and slow down the VP's right side. Very briefly under T-Bag's control. T-34 gets an excellent shot against those Fallschirmjäger though. And they're gonna die. Even if they retreat, they're probably gonna die. Over here on the right side, Sternpio's getting sniped so hard by PTRSs, get wiped. And the Fallschirmjäger also on the left side got wiped. Which meant, I mean, honestly, like even well before that demo charge, probably even at the point that the King Tiger went down, that was probably GG. I don't know if it was even possible for T-Bag to recover that game. Got a couple lucky wipes against Momo's infantry, but I mean his manpower floated through the roof even after that. It just doesn't even matter. Momo had no problem replacing any of his losses this game because he had excellent map control. It just comes down to map control. If that extremely aggressive trade had happened and T-Bag had held the entire map, he probably would have been the one to regain control of the game. So it's really just all about map control. T-Bag could never get any territory back. Every time he tried, got boxed back in by PTRS conscripts. So, pretty climactic engagement against the King Tiger right there. I was not sure which way the game was going to swing there for a while. It looked like it wasn't going very well for T-Bag. And if he had dodged that bomb run a little better, which he could have done, by the way, he got stuck trying to reverse through one T-34 when really he should have just driven out of it by going forward. He probably would have been fine. So I feel like he could have handled that engagement a little better. He tanked an anti-tank bombing run and 4 T-34s, and it just didn't quite survive. Pretty close engagement though, and that was the engagement upon which this game I would say probably hinged. So good game, Allies win.